Welcome to the Inspiring Good podcast. This podcast is brought to you by the Community Foundation of Elkhart County, which serves a vibrant community in northern Indiana known for its generosity and a strong network of nonprofit organizations. I'm Marshall King, your co-host with Kevin Deary, a veteran nonprofit CEO who now coaches others as part of his role at the Community Foundation. Our guest today is Breanna Allen, who is Executive Director at Tolson Center for Community Excellence. Breanna is a visionary, strategist, servant leader, and educator of young people. She worked at Ivy Tech Community College before becoming the first employee of the new Tolson. Breanna, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Dr. Breanna Allen, welcome to Inspiring Good podcast.
The Tolson Center history is very rich and very deep. It started back in the 1920s in the Benham neighborhood. It was called the Benham West neighborhood. Now it has transitioned to the Benham neighborhood, where African-American leaders built a community, a village. It transitioned over time, and the Tolsons entered into Elkhart in the late 30s, early 40s. And their legacy, the work that they did in terms of building the village, uplifting the community, providing resources, and really giving the spirit of family and unity was established and was everlasting, which has led us to today, continuing on their legacy and continuing their vision of empowering people through the Tolson Center for Community Excellence.
You know, when you go down Benham Ave, you cannot miss that building. It is such a jewel in that neighborhood. But more importantly, the programs that are going on inside are so really important. When you first accepted this position and you were really coming in as the CEO, executive director, you had to start with scratch and you had to start all over again. You had to build a board because it was part of the city, I believe.
That's correct.
And now it has a standalone 501c3 board. You had to hire every employee.
Yes.
Train every employee.
Yes.
They also had to oversee the construction project.
Yes.
And that was new to you.
Definitely.
Learned a lot, I'm sure. But that building is absolutely stunning. In those early days, what were some of the lessons that you learned along the way?
Wow. The experience has been extremely amazing walking that path. I never envisioned that I would be a part of something so great and leading something so huge. And so those early days, it was just taking it all in and reminding myself that, Breanna, you got this. You can do this. I didn't know much. The nonprofit world was still fairly new to me. Served in nonprofit for about 3 years, but at a very mid-level position. And entering into such a huge leadership role was a lot of weight on the shoulders. But I come from humble background and strong women, and so I knew I could do it.
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about your early days and some of the people who influenced you and helped you become the leader you are today.
Yes, I attribute really my whole being to my mother. She was a single mother, is a single mother. I have a younger sister, and I've seen her work, show up for work every day, show up for me and my sister every single day, showed up for family every day, took care of my great-grandparents. And so watching that and seeing someone do it, which was in my eyes effortlessly. I have no idea what she was going through on the other end, but it looked effortlessly to me. And seeing that over and over again showed me that I could do it too, and that was how you were supposed to be. And so I attribute really myself to my mother.
But Breanna, my experience of watching you is that it seems like you're doing it effortlessly too. I mean, you have 4 children.
I do.
You know, a couple side hustles, and then this big role. Whatever your mother was demonstrating to you clearly took.
Yes. And she was strong, and she was also very disciplined for herself, but she also taught discipline to me and my sister as well. So, when times were hard, when we came across challenges, when we wanted to cry, she told us to suck it up. And we did. And so I have just carried that throughout my life.
And just to define side hustle, you actually are an adjunct professor.
I am.
You have a small business that you do on the side.
I do.
So you're very busy.
Very busy.
On top of raising 4 girls.
That's correct.
And just the work you do, who are other influences other than mom and family? Maybe somebody at school, or who were some of the people that helped light the path for you?
Yes. I also attribute my learnings that happened in my college years. College and education did not come naturally to me. I have a doctoral degree because I have grind really hard to achieve that. That was a goal. But education was not necessarily an easy pathway for me. And so stumbled a little bit in college. I got involved with this program called Mentoring Assistance for Prospective Scholars. Miss Valerie Craig served as the program director of that at Indiana State University. And she gave me a chance. So when I was challenged and not doing well, she connected me with a mentor, or helped me connect with a mentor who could really help guide me to complete my educational journey. And so that's probably the second catalyst that gave me that spark and that energy and that just reminder that I could achieve the things that I wanted to achieve. She was super influential.
I also found you, and I find you not only as a friend and a colleague, but you're one of the most grounded people I know. I mean, you are well grounded. We'll give absolute credit to that to your mom.
Yes.
For helping you stay grounded. Mm-hmm. But as you've developed your leadership philosophy, how would you state you've taken your leadership philosophy and put it across Tolson? How has it helped you with the development of Tolson?
Yes, my leadership philosophy is very much rooted in advocating for others, empowering others, and inspiring others. And so being able to step into this role as the executive director of the Tolson Center, first of all, the mission is rooted in that. So there's just clear alignment there for me and my leadership philosophy and the work that is expected and really thought out to do through the Tolson Center, empowering lives through inclusive learning, recreation, and cultural exchange, opening doors to bright futures. So my philosophy, because it's so well aligned with the Tolson Center's mission, it comes natural to be able to do that work and to think strategically about the types of programs that come inside the center and the types of partners that we want to have. Our members are amazing, right? Our building is beautiful, but our biggest asset are the people that come inside that building. They are wonderful people, come from all different backgrounds, have all different types of experiences. And so they're coming for something, right? And my hope and desire is that they're coming to be advocated for, that they're coming to be empowered, and that they're coming to be inspired. And so hopefully that is happening.
It is very clear to spend anything more than 10 minutes there to see the joy of the children and how warmly they're met, and how education is a priority, but so is recreation, and so is character development, and learning right from wrong. Mm-hmm. And them themselves learning how to be grounded when maybe things at home aren't so grounded for them. But at Tolson, that's their second home, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, we call ourselves the aunties. So, when the aunties come out, we got to get some things in order. And our youth know that, or they're learning. And it's all out of love, right? So that they can learn that grounding. So structure can be established somewhere so that they can feel safe and know that they can also have fun and really just be themselves.
You obviously take great pride in developing your staff. You do a lot of staff trainings over and over again.
Yes.
To make sure that they are dialed in. What are some of the key programs that you offer at Tolson right now for not only the young people, but you're also working with the community as well.
Absolutely. Health is a priority for us, and showcasing that to our community that folks should take their health seriously. So partnering with the Minority Health Coalition to talk about, chronic disease and health management. We have vaccination clinics happening at the center, job fairs, employment. So career, yes, for the young people, but there's also great opportunities for our adults and seniors through employment and the great opportunities here in the community. So holding job fairs. And at the root of all of it, that I know that my desire continues to push through is leadership and empowering. And so we are bringing on a variety of symposiums and seminars that are encouraging folks to learn about their own leadership. What does it mean for you to be a leader, whether you are within your church or you are volunteering inside the Tolson Center, or you are in your place of employment and you might be looked at as a leader and you have not quite recognized that. So all of those types of programs are coming online, and we just want to encourage our community to take advantage of that because there's some great learnings in there.
So you're really just getting going. You just opened up in November. You're still really new.
Oh, yes.
So what's missing? What's the programmatic piece that's missing, the partnership that's missing?
Yeah, I think as we think about education, recreation is always attractive, and young people and adults are going to find their way to that. But, the undertone is very much education. And so I'm really looking forward to an upcoming partnership with Elkhart Community Schools that is coming into play with Dr. Larry Huff serving as the superintendent there. We are just getting started on the conversations of how we can be an addition to the education system that exists within Elkhart Community Schools. So I don't know what that looks like yet, but I'm very, very excited to begin the conversation and to dream and vision of what it could look like.
Any work with the courts, or are you doing any kind of emotional support, do you bring therapy in or therapeutic type of programs?
We have a really good partnership with Oaklawn and the Partnership for Children. And so we use that very much as a referral process. And actually, yes, we now have one of their staff coming on site once a week. That just happened a couple weeks ago. I saw Shin Yi walk into the building the other day, and she's like, "I'm here to do sessions with some of my clients." And I'm like, whoa, that's awesome. And we have the space to do that. We have a community care room that is specifically designated for those one-on-one sessions. So those things are coming online, and I just expect for them to continue to grow.
Being Tolson's the center or the anchor of that neighborhood, do you and the kids or the staff, do you get out and about in the community, or do they all come into you? What are the other parts of the community that you connect with that are past the children?
Yeah, so right now, as we are still kind of getting grounded in the work that we do and just being back in the neighborhood, the kids and members do come to us. But we are preparing for summer camp. Summer Quest is what it's called. And one of the main things that we wanted to ensure was that we took kids out into the community. And so there are many, many, many field trips that is happening this summer for the children of Tolson to see that their community has a lot to offer. The zoo, the well field, Ethos, E3 Robotics, South Bend Cubs. So we're going to go on a little tour of Elkhart County and slide over into St. Joseph County for a little bit, because it is important that we show our youth and our adults as well that there is more than just the neighborhood that they reside in. Their neighborhood is their identity and their environment, but we want to expose them to way more. And so, again, we're just getting started. So we'll be spreading out, definitely.
So, Breanna, this will air the end of June. You've been in preparation mode as we're recording this, but this summer camp is amazing. Can you say just a little bit more about like what you're putting together for a group of students this summer?
Yes, we are going to host 60 kids this summer. 60 kids, kindergarten through sixth grade. So look out. We're bracing ourselves, but it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. My program director, Valicia Smiley, along with myself, had a vision that, we wanted to provide a high quality summer experience for kiddos, and that we could not do it by ourselves. And it didn't make sense to do it by ourselves. Again, there are many, many programs and organizations and partners who provide an expertise. And so every week we have partnered with an organization to either bring their content and experience to the center, or we take our kiddos to them and they get to experience that. So a lot of work has gone into developing the summer camp. We'll have T-shirts. Each week will be themed. We'll probably have teams. We're just going to make it a really, really fun deal. And the kiddos get fed breakfast and lunch.
All for
$30.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
The Community Foundation of Elkhart County is certainly a partner and main supporter of Tolson. And you have some exciting things that are happening right outside your windows. Can you talk a little bit about that and what the Lily gift has meant to you?
Yes, we are just blessed. The Tolson Center is absolutely blessed to have strong partnership with the Community Foundation, the City of Elkhart, Lily Endowment, and many others. And so our building was the first phase, and it is stunning. It is gorgeous, right? And so the next phase, because we're not done, is our outdoor campus. And through the support of the Community Foundation and their relationship with the Lilly Endowment, we have an opportunity for a 1-to-1 match up to $1 million, which equals $2 million. And so what that will do is help us build out outdoor synthetic turf soccer field. It will have all the things: lights, bleachers, scoreboard. It will be top quality. Outdoor basketball courts that also have pickleball lines for our pickleball lovers, and an ADA accessible playground, a pour in place playground with equipment that meets all different types of needs and abilities. And so we're really looking forward to that. The plan is that project will begin later this fall and hopefully be complete early spring of next year.
The Tolson area, Benham Ave, is changing culturally. There's a lot more Hispanic families moving in. The soccer fields are definitely going to be utilized as the basketball courts. But have you and your team talked about how do you blend in the different cultures?
Yeah, well, first, I believe it starts internally within the organization. And the Tolson Board of Directors is very much focused on ensuring that the members of the board are representative of the community, so that when strategic decisions are being made and ideas and things are happening, that we have those voices at the table, which then trickles down to me as a leader, ensuring that my staff is very much reflective of the community and being very intentional in that. And I think I've done a pretty good job. If you walk inside the Tolson Center, you will see a breadth of diversity as it relates to the staff of the Tolson Center. So when we're in team meetings, thinking about what programs we want to bring in, what does our communication method look like, then those voices are there. And so also from the beginning, we clearly established that the center was a place of equity and opportunity, and that it was very much an inclusive, will be an inclusive community center. And so majority of our materials are in English and Spanish. You will see that reflected on our social media and on our website. And then again, the staff will be able to reflect that. So as we take that internal look at ensuring that we are aware of who is in our community and who we're serving, I believe that will help us be able to serve through the programs and resources and connections that we make.
Breanna, you're an active participant in our CEO roundtables, which now has 82 CEOs part of it.
Yeah.
And we're just so glad to have your leadership and your wisdom. Can you talk a little bit about how to run a nonprofit? What are some of the lessons you've learned? If you come from academia, you obviously have a lot of wisdom, a lot of education, but running a nonprofit in today's landscape is a little different.
It is.
Can you talk about some of the lessons learned and some of the best practices?
Yes. First, you really have to be able to lead fearlessly. It can get challenging being at the very top. And when you're up there, there is a lot happening, right? And there is big responsibility and big decisions that have to be made. And so it doesn't, you don't have a whole bunch of time to be able to make a decision or figure out what is next. You have to kind of take away some of that fear, follow your gut and intuition, and remember your training or why you're doing the work. And so being a part of the CEO roundtables helps us as CEO leaders to be reminded of that, to know that we're not alone, because it can feel kind of lonely up there. But we're not alone. We can bounce ideas off each other. We can learn from each other's mistakes. And so I would say the biggest thing that I'm learning and taking away is, find that partner, find somebody that you can confide in and have a conversation with, put it all out on the table. This is where I'm at. This is what the challenge is. I think this is what I need. And through that dialogue, of like mind or similar experiences, hopefully the best decision will come out.
What would the soon to be retired, which you're not, but when you go to retire and you can look and advise young, new executive director Breanna, what advice will old Breanna give to young Breanna?
Wow, that's a great question. And yes, I'm looking forward to retirement. I know I shouldn't say that too early, but I am. What I would tell myself would be to just keep pushing and do not give up, and try to minimize that feeling of defeat, because if you show up every day, if you give it all that you got, if you lead with integrity and honesty, then it will work out. You may make a few mistakes and it might not look as pretty, but those can be fixed. And so keep on pushing.
Breanna, what's been the biggest surprise about this Tolson experience over the last couple of years?
The biggest surprise, I honestly really did not understand the magnitude of emotional ties and just memories of the center. I'm not originally from this community. I have been here in Michiana for 12 years now. Hopefully I'm almost close to being a native. So really understanding the magnitude of the Tolson Center, the Tolsons, the Benham neighborhood, I didn't quite understand. And so I have just been thrilled and have loved every moment of learning about the history and trying to embody that. So as a leader, I'm carrying out what hopefully the Tolsons believe should have been being carried out as they led this vision, but also being able to carry out what the community feels and sees and remembers about the Tolson Center.
Breanna, staying in the realm of giving advice, you every day give advice, I'm sure, to staff, to kids. But we have this growing group of community leaders coming up, this young generation, some that are they're all they've ever known is high tech, COVID, war, stress in their entire life. And now they want to go into service and they want to give back. And they have so much to give and so much more energy than we have. But how would you advise them getting into mid-management?
Yes, for a young person looking to get into mid-management, one, it is about the relationships that you build and the network that you surround yourself with. If you are surrounded by or intentionally surround yourself by individuals who have that passion to serve, have that spark to be a leader, who is a change maker or wants to be a change maker, that's contagious. And then you take that and you put that in your own work and in your own footsteps of moving forward towards leadership and climbing up the ladder, then there's great opportunity there. You also have to speak up. You can't just stand there and do all the work, yes, and it will be seen, but it's also important to use your voice and remind folks and share, what you bring to the table, how you can be of service, how you can be a servant leader. And I think those are great ways that can help young people be able to reach whatever leadership role they're looking to achieve.
Dr. Allen, I love saying that. You've earned it.
Thank you.
Dr. Allen, how do you motivate yourself? You get up every day. I'm sure that you have a things to do list in your mind, people you have to call, people you have to outreach, problems you have to solve. How do you stay motivated to continue to be the fuel for Tolson Center?
Believe it or not, people give me the fuel. The joy that I see, the passion that I see through others, that just gives me what I need to be able to keep pushing forward. And I have my own little case studies by themselves, which are my young girls. And so they wake up every day excited about what is to come. And we talk about what their future looks like. They have all types of interest and want to explore so many things. And so that energy that people give off, whether it's my own children or others that I'm around, just keeps me going. And a little bit of coffee.
Breanna, between now and retirement, if you look ahead at Tolson 10 years from now, what does Tolson look like a decade from now?
Yeah, Tolson is that continued staple, not only in the neighborhood, but in the community and statewide. As we build programs around mentoring, education, career development, all those things that uplift folks and young people and give them tools to be successful, we're going to see a lot of young people coming out of the center being leaders. We're going to see a lot of athletes coming out of the center. And what would just be the icing on the cake is that those young people come back into the Tolson Center and serve and give back and share their experiences that they have to continue to keep encouraging other young people to follow in their steps.
Oh. Breanna, one last question, and you've kind of answered it with the answer to the last two questions, but what gives you hope?
Young people give me hope. They really do. There is a lot of turmoil happening. There are some unfortunate situations, but I could tell you every day that I walk inside the Tolson Center and at 2:00, actually about 1:45, kids don't get out of school till 2, but somehow they're at the center at 1:45 and they come darting in with smiles on their faces and excited to check in and saying hi and giving me a hug and doing all of that. That right there, it gives hope to me. Hopefully it gives hope to others because there's nothing like it.
Wow. Breanna, thank you for being with us today. We're delighted to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Breanna.
This show is a production of the Community Foundation of Elkhart County. It is powered by equipment from Sweetwater and recorded in the Viaggio studio at We Impact in Elkhart's River District. Music is provided by Sensational Sounds. Editing is done by the award-winning communication students at Goshen College, home of one of the best college radio stations in the nation. Listen to Globe Radio at 91.1 FM or online. Learn more about the Community Foundation of Elkhart County at inspiringgood.org. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Thanks for listening. We hope you're inspired and inspire good in your community.